Fastest growing cryptocurrency exchange TPX is in hot water, and thousands of clients have millions of dollars in frozen assets with little information.
How do we owe $67,000? This Hagel guy's alive.
He's alone in a fucking mansion.
You take Bitcoin?
I say we keep it simple and easy. We get in there, get his cold storage, and we leave.
That better be water, Sims.
It's water. So Lizzie and I are known to,
Hey.
have a cocktail when we get together.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
this podcast is all about enjoying a cocktail. It is now anyway. So my deepest apology, I know I've already apologized profusely. I think it was just one of these weird crunches, and I don't know how I kept screwing up, but
No,
I did. And so thank you for your flexibility. We have a good 15 minutes. I normally would like to take longer, but I think we'll be all right.
I think we can.
And we could always do a part 2 when, the film has its theatrical release.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I'd like to do that. And we can maybe get Raúl on, who is a friend.
Yeah.
Anybody
Great.
else?
Cutter.
Is Cutter on too? Oh, there is somebody else coming on here. Good.
Our fabulous director.
Yeah. It was a really well-directed film.
It's
Let me say that again. It's a really well-directed film.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Thank you, Cutter, for putting up with all that. Thank you.
Yeah, all of what? Well, there's nothing to put up with.
Yeah, that's nice of you, but I appreciate it. Look, let's jump right into it because normally I go on and we'll start talking casually and then all of a sudden it becomes the podcast, but I don't want to waste any precious time here. All to say, though, so glad that Kelly Vickery of the Berkshires International Film Festival put this on my radar because, she says, oh, you should do this. Well, the Cold Wallet is fantastic, and it was shot, by and large in the Berkshires, and you should get together with the team. So thank you to you guys for, just accommodating everything and making this happen.
Happy to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Cutter's actually been working on promoting Cold Wallet. We had our world premiere at the South by Southwest Festival back in March, and there's just a lot of buzz around the cryptocurrency situation that's going on in the country, and particular in the Berkshires. But Cutter, you were just at an event promoting the show, so there's a lot of buzz around the show for some strange reason. I know. And we shot it in Lenox. Yeah.
Right. So it's perfect. How was it not going to get into the Berkshires Festival? I mean, that would have been a crime. In fact, let's get some housekeeping out of the way, guys, because it's going to be at the beautiful Mahaiwe Theater right in downtown Great Barrington on Friday, May 3rd, 31st. I know, I was testing you. Friday, May 31st at 5 p.m. again at the Mahaiwe, which is, I love that theater. I've seen a bunch of shows there and a few films from last year at the festival too. It's a great theater. Are you familiar with the theater?
I'm not. I'm sure that these two ladies practically run the show there. So
I've been in at the film festival. This is its 18th season, yes. So I've been involved in the Mahaiwe's a beautiful theater. Cutter, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
And, but Cutter's big house, and but Cutter, you've done a lot of film festivals. Fishing Without Nets was like a critically acclaimed film that Cutter did, and it's brilliant. Adam, if you haven't seen it, you have to watch that. But Cold Wallet, we've been at the South by Southwest, and so those theaters were smaller theaters. Mahaiwe is a beautiful historical building that's been refurbished, so it'll be really fun for this film to
Like
be
an
there.
old vaudeville, theater with box seats and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
can't wait. That's
It's an
great.
opera house. Yeah, the old variety. So you'll have a great time. It was okay. So you mentioned the cryptocurrency being a big subject in the Berkshires in particular, you said?
Oh, yes.
Well, so Cutter, you want to talk about, I was going to say, maybe
Okay.
back it up a bit to talk about how the story came about and the coincidence that this story is breaking in the Berkshires. In fact, today, one of the folks involved with FTX is waiting for his sentencing today and is from the Berkshires and owned establishments, businesses in Lenox, where we shot the film.
Oh,
Yeah,
Which
his
was
name was
truly a
Ryan.
coincidence.
Yeah. His name is Ryan Salome, and he was sort of like one of the whistleblowers in the FTX case. And I'm actually surprised to see that he was convicted, because my understanding was he was one of the people who kind of blew the whistle on it. But by pure coincidence, while Sims and I were location scouting, she mentioned this guy who's this local crypto fat cat, and it was a young guy who had come back to his hometown and bought up a bunch of restaurants, and ones that we would frequent, our cast and crew would go to a lot. And we, even while we were shooting, for those of you who don't know, FTX was a major crypto platform. It sort of achieved mainstream success and understanding and familiarity. It had celebrity spokespeople, and then it sort of all collapsed in vague and sometimes nefarious, sometimes big ugly mistake. It's kind of, that's all left to be seen, but people are going to jail. Sam Bankman-Fried has gone to jail, and Ryan Salome is now looking like he's going to go to jail. But there was we came to the Berkshires first and foremost with these two ladies as our main draw, and then we were kind of taken by all of the Gilded Age mansions, which the movie obviously takes place in, and really loved how that represented kind of old world wealth, and how that was sort of similar to this new unregulated wealth machine, which was crypto. But while we were shooting the film, literally during production, there was some folks, assailants, showed up at Sam Bankman-Fried's house where he was on house arrest and tried to break in, but he had security and they stopped him. So, like, in other words, the plot of the film was sort of happening in real life while we were kind of in the midst of production. So
and you don't even get credit for it.
That's right.
Yeah, right. No, if
Because it
anything,
hasn't
we're
out
gonna
yet.
look like we were following the news, but it was if you actually dig in, there's a lot of true stories like this. There's a lot of real life cases of people of people taking matters into their own hands who got rugged, as the phrase goes. And so I think our movie was sort of ripping from real headlines. It was sort of a mashup of a lot of experiences and research that we did.
Well, what you achieved though with the movie, and it's called Cold Wallet, which is a cryptocurrency / tech term. You achieved something really amazing, you and your team here, because it's like a really taut suspense thriller. And, meanwhile, you have this very topical storyline, which, could be more relative at the moment, could be more, prevalent, and managed to make this really great combination between these two things work really successfully. What I have to imagine was a relatively low budget, and with a really amazing cast of really great actors and a great script. So good for you. No wonder it was at South by Southwest as well.
Oh, thanks.
It works real well in that festival, right? That must have been a very fun festival to premiere at.
Yeah, it was,
Very well.
I bet. Yeah.
And
yeah,
Cutter,
yeah. It was just, it felt like the right place in that,
Yeah.
you know, the mix of sort of tech, comedy festival, movies. It's sort of a music. It's obviously like a mashup of a bunch of things. So I think it's a sort of American culture festival more than it is just a
It has
film.
become that as it's expanded. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
going to say, as much as the film, it's this cryptocurrency, it is a thriller, but there's a lot of humor in it. And Cutter and his writing partner, John Hyde, who wrote it, he was at the festival and he chatted a little bit about the process of writing. And but I wanted to say that, a good question for Cutter would be, how he and John worked this script together. I mean, there was one point, Cutter, I wanted to ask you, like, did you ever guys say, no, this is such a stupid idea, we're not going to do this? Did you guys have any like fisticuffs about certain, scenes, or how did you have your way? Because it's such a perfect story. How did you guys manage that, balance it?
A story that they were working on until the very moment
Well, yeah.
we shot it.
That's right.
Yeah, there. Well, yeah, we sort of began the process with a little bit of a mandate from this production company that wanted to make the film, which was they wanted to make a film about doxing, and they wanted to make a film that was sort of a home invasion film. And so we had conversations with some collaborators of ours, including one of my good friends, Justin, who said, well, why don't you make it a crypto heist movie? And so we were sort of off to the races from there. It was like, that was going to give the movie this sort of relevant cultural element, but also was baked into crypto is an inherent sort of dark humor. And then a lot of real people who are, who've been screwed over and who we knew would really feel for what these characters were going through, because I think a lot of people who've traded crypto have felt, whether it was as bad as what they experienced or just felt like they bought at the wrong time. Crypto has a dark sense of humor, like a sort of gallows humor on the message boards about, people like to show, like, it's called loss porn, where they'll like share, look how much I lost.
Oh, wow.
And others kind of pile on
both. There's like kind of a catharsis in that.
Yeah.
For them. Interesting. That's amazing. That's an amazing thing. Yeah, I could see it. And there's a whole kind of Zen, I don't know if to call it a subplot, but theme going through there with one of the main characters as well, which, it also brings a little humor right into the screenplay. That was very clever. I want to mention that the cast includes Raúl Castillo, who's been on this podcast, by the way, Tony Cavalero, who is the character I was just referencing, Melonie Diaz, who many people, of course, will recognize as well, and Josh Brener among its cast members. Really good cast.
And I was going to point out, Adam, that Raúl Castillo and Cutter, Ben Wiesner, our producer, will also be at the screening at the BIF. So you will see, and some of the local actors who were in the show.
Oh, fantastic! Well, I'll have to get over there and meet you guys. I live not too far, so I'm in the Hudson Valley these days, but
oh, cool,
very close to the Berkshires.
Yeah,
I'm going there all the time.
Yeah, I think maybe second only to crypto in terms of sort of having what I think of as a sort of over the top fandom and internet obsessions is jujitsu, and so jujitsu as an art form has a lot of charlatans, and so I think
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, well, I should say in modern times, like in modern sort of internet culture, there's definitely a lot of people who sort of purport to know things and have sort of special powers. And so I think a character like Tony's in the movie Dom, he's he's almost like the second subculture mashing with the first. So if you're like into crypto and jujitsu, you're definitely a certain demographic.
This is
on
the
internet.
this is the film for you, Cold Wallet.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Um,
love it.
And you'll, like you say, you'll all be there at the Mahaiwe in Great Barrington on Friday, May 31st, for a 5 p.m. screening, and of course Q&A, which is the whole reason why we show films in festivals, because you get to meet the people that made the film or in the film and have a kind of a meaningful experience, and you get these conversations often. What I always like also bleed into the lobby and onto the street often. Uh, it's a unique experience for folks, and I especially think at a festival, more or less community oriented, like the Berkshires International Film Festival is. Not to say South by Southwest, you don't have that. You definitely do, but it's a very big market, kind of almost like a market festival. There's a
Yeah.
lot of industry, a lot of stuff going on here, but you have an intimacy with, I think you really appreciate at your screening. Um,
Yeah,
and
totally.
I feel like that we barely scraped the surface here. Doesn't it feel that way?
Please skip the service. Yeah,
This is ridiculous.
I just want to add that, talking about community, the
Yeah.
Berkshires is a real community, and they embraced Cutter and the
Oh, right.
producing team and all the actors. We have, probably 100 people who were involved in the film, directly and indirectly. I mean, the woman who runs the fitness center in Lenox loved the cast, loves Cutter. Like, are
Yeah.
they coming? She was so excited. So we have a lot of community support, and Sims and I working on all the behind the scenes and getting this thing produced as far as the hotels and locations and food.
Oh my God. Yeah.
and,
Sure.
And it was February in the Berkshires. It was,
Yeah.
it had its challenges.
Yeah. It
There was
really.
Adam Cutter. There were shootings like, okay, we need snow. So
First, we had a lot of snow, which was great. And then we lost all the snow, and we needed snow for the climax of the movie needed snow.
Cutter had
Oh,
all
yeah.
the maps out looking for where we were going to go. Like, what about going North County? Like, where
We
can
called
go?
ski resorts.
Can we get snow shipped in? It
for
was,
Canada came up a couple of times. Like we were in trouble, and the irony, of course, was that the beginning of our production was extremely snowy, and it was we were able to get all of these sort of establishing shots that were in this beautiful blanketed, nature covered in snow, and then through the production, we had it kind of melted and things became unusually mild, which was not bad for the logistics of the production. But there was this kind of ticking clock coming towards that last week where we really needed the snow to come, and all these conversations of where can we go, what kind of trickery can we do to somehow make this feel like there's snow everywhere. And we came up with just about every solution, and I know we would have figured out a way, but something happened with the cinema gods that last week, and literally the day before we needed it, at the end, at dusk, the snow started to fall like it was its own movie, and the sort of Christmas miracle happened. And
Yeah. Raúl, get out there quick.
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and then of course, then that posed its own challenges of now we really had to go face the snow. But weirdly enough, and Lizzie and Sims, I don't know if I ever told you this, but maybe a month after I was back home, I ran into a filmmaker who had been up in the Berkshires shooting a music video, and they said, "Hey, we were really in need of snow," and I was sort of like, we were trading stories about this. And we put it together that same week we were both there and in need of snow, and they had the same exact dilemma. So it was like, yeah, I think if enough people are praying for snow, then it could come true.
Crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was wild.
Well,
Meditated on it.
unless you guys are able to come back on in a little bit, I have to pop off for a little while because I screwed up, as I mentioned. And again, I apologize for that. It's not the typical thing. thing that happens, but it did happen. So you let me know. We could come back on.
Yeah, is there anything else, Cutter, you think we want to cover if we came back on, or do you think we're good?
Well, I would leave that to you. It's what if you feel like there's more to discuss.
Do you guys have well, here's a question. Do you guys have like a teaser or trailer yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we get that to me? And what's nice about that, obviously, is I can pop it at the beginning and audio, even for the audio podcast, and give people a good sense of what we're talking about before we even start a conversation. It'll really help.
Yeah, I mean, I think you covered the great cast, the actors, Cutter's amazing direction and the story.
Yeah.
John and Cutter and the
Snow in the
the
cold.
snow and the cold and the team and
Yeah.
And Thelma and Louise, here we are ready to
I love you guys.
help future productions, but we just want to shoot with Cutter from here on. We just want to do his films here.
Well, like I say, we can have a reunion regardless, because when this film, which I know will have a theatrical, when that time comes, we can certainly do another one of these. And, I would look forward to that. And it will be at a set time, and I will honor that.
Okay.
Yeah, if that's a better, if you want to do something more around the release, that's
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm certainly happy to do that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
great.
All right. Well,
right.
I will see you at the Mahaiwe. I wish you nothing but great success with the film, and I predict you will have. So thank you guys so much.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Hey, one quick question. What did you have Raúl on for?
Geez, I'll look it up.
Okay.
But if you're on any shoot me an email. You can also probably do a search on Filmwax and Raúl's name, and probably something will come up. But it was just one of his amazing earlier films. I've known him a really long time.
Because you've only done like 800 and so episodes.
Yeah, I know it's bound to be on there. But I did have Raúl. I did know him going way back to like one of his first films, a small film called Mexicano that he was in way back at the beginning of his. Just go really far back, knowing who he is, and I'm not surprised to see how far he's come. So it's great.
Awesome.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's brilliant. All right, great. Well, I will. Yeah, we'll keep in touch and hopefully see you on Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks.
guys.
See you
Have a
on
great
Friday
evening.
too.
Bye, Cutter. See you soon.
See you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.